What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, thank you for coming to watch this video, and if you would like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. If you guys enjoy motorcycle content or Transalp content, or even camping, solo moto camping and moto vlogging, if you'd like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You guys have no idea what it means to me that anybody would watch my channel, and I know I have very little subscribers, but I just wanted to make sure you guys knew how much I appreciated it. I'm gonna go to the left, but today I'm gonna do a video on my 1100 mile update. Well, I'm at 1093, but I'll hit 1100 miles in this. I haven't got to ride in like a week because it's been stormy here, so I haven't really been able to film a video. The last video I filmed was the Tusk luggage, which if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. Love the luggage, love the saddlebags or panniers, whatever you call them. So I'm gonna start with things I do like, and then I'll get into some things that could be a deal breaker for some, and some things you might not like or might not buy a Transalp because of. So in my opinion, the Transalp is for people who, I think it's more of a 60-40 or maybe even 70-30. I'd probably say 60-40, 60 on-road, 40 off-road. It's not, you're not going to be going in intense off-roading, in my opinion. I mean, you probably could, but it's not a light bike. Unfortunately, I have dropped it. It was just, so I was fully loaded down at a gas station, and I parked on the pump, and it was at like one of those humps, and I went to step over and wasn't paying attention, and thankfully I got it down, thankfully, but it did kind of topple over on me. But I do have the sniffles today. My allergies have been extremely bad lately. We're just gonna go straight. But that being said, so things I do like about it: love the engine. I think it's like a sport bike engine almost. It's revvy, it's quick, it's got a lot of power. It's really smooth on the highway, and it's a great engine in my opinion. Obviously I don't have a lot of miles on it for longevity's sake, but so far after 1100 miles, I could not be happier with the engine. It feels night and day better than the Rebel 500. I love the engine. Another thing I like about it is it's easily customizable. It has pretty good aftermarket support already. So you can get, a lot of companies are making stuff for it. I like Tusk because I feel like they're affordable and they get the job done. So that's one of my companies that I like, is Tusk. A few things I don't like about it: I don't like the stock seat. It's okay, but like after a 2-hour road trip, my butt was hurting pretty good. So I did actually, so this hopefully is my last video without or with the stock seat. I went to a dealer and they were able to order me the comfort seat, which I'm really excited to get, and hopefully it actually comes in, because a lot of people are saying you can't even order it in the US, but I did go order it. I have a receipt to prove it, so hopefully it actually comes in, and this will be hopefully my last video without the comfort seat. So that's one thing I do not like about it. Another thing I don't like about it: the stock tires are, I mean, it's good and bad, but stock tires are really basically just street tires. So if you're doing any off-roading at all, when you get the bike, you need to change the tires. I don't like the fact that there's not like a factory option cruise control. I get it, you don't want to hurt the Africa Twin market, I guess I'm assuming that's why they don't do cruise control, even if it's not from the factory. If it's like an upgrade option, kind of like how the heated grips are, that'd be cool. Obviously there's company Viridian Viridian Cruise, which I'm actually going to get a Viridian Cruise. I'm not sure when, because it's not cheap, and I just don't really want to spend $350 or $400 that it costs to get it right now. I do got some other plans, like some other stuff planned for the Transalp that I'm getting. Should be soon, hopefully. Yeah, so another thing I don't like about the Transalp is the fact that it's tubeless tube tires, because I want to be able to just plug my tire if I can. I mean, I get it, but then again, I don't know why they didn't just go with tubeless. But I really don't, I'm not like the mechanical side of any of it, so I don't really know what the benefits and stuff are with going tube tires. Only issue is I'm not sure how well I'm going to be able to change that tube out if I'm on a trail or something. So that's one thing I'm going to find out. Now, going back to things I do like about the Transalp, I like the quick shifter. I think it's awesome. At first it was a little bit jumpy, like finicky. Whenever I would shift up, you would feel it. It would jerk a little bit. But now that I'm after the break-in period, I feel like it's a lot smoother than it was. I don't think you were supposed to do the quick shifter during the break-in. I'm not sure, but my dealer told me to test out the quick shifter, so I did. But that's one thing I really love about the bike. I love the quick shifter. I think it's awesome. I also love the range of the bike. I can get about 205 miles if I push it, 210. So that's another thing I really do like about the bike, is it gets pretty good fuel mileage. Now if you're riding all highway, like 80 mile an hour highways, then you're going to get significantly less than if you were riding back roads at 65, 60. But that really isn't a big deal, because I feel like there's always so many gas stations that you can stop at. Say you get to 150 miles and you want to fill up. But my last fill up, I rode all freeway and I got about 190 miles. I maybe could have pushed it a little bit more, but I'm kind of a baby when it comes to that stuff, and I don't want to overly push it because I don't want to be stranded. But some things that I think would be a deal breaker for the Transalp for people is the air, like to get to the air filter is a really big pain in the butt. You have to pull off this fairing, you have to pull off the tank. It's just, there's a lot of stuff to pull off, and I feel like the air filter, you got to change it every 10,000 miles. So it's going to be about a 30 to 40 minute process, but I feel like that's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things. It takes 30 minutes to change it out. It's not that huge of a deal, but it is a big enough deal to where I think some people might just not want to buy it. And obviously the tube tires are another thing that people don't like about the Transalp. And I see a lot of people complain about they always complain about I just had a brain fart. But I see a lot of people, so I see a lot of people complain about the ground clearance on the Transalp, but if you look at it, I think it has the same ground clearance as the KLR 650, and then it's pretty close to the Himalayan 450 on ground clearance. So I mean, I don't think it's that big a deal. I'm not really a serious off-roader. I don't really love off-roading, so I don't like the butt puckering factor of it, where it's just like I just don't like I don't like the idea of it. I'm not a huge fan of off-roading. I do a little bit, like I'll get to my campsites and stuff down dirt roads, but my idea of why I bought the Transalp was I can tour on it, I can go on road trips, and if I need to get down a camp spot, I can. So that was the reasoning behind my purchase of the Transalp, and why I ultimately chose the Transalp, because of how good it is on the road, because it's exceptional on the road, and I think it's awesome. And that's the main reason why I went with the Transalp. But obviously, if you're more into the off-roading, this is not a bike you're going to be going. I mean, surely you can, but this isn't a bike I would be taking down single track and rocks and stuff like that. That's just not what this bike was intended for. I think it's intended for the occasional dirt roads or occasional gravel roads. It also depends on the tires. So it's your purchase depends on what you want out of the bike. So for me, I want a bike that, like a sport tour, I guess. Well, I want a bike that I can get down these roads if I need to, but it's also it'll also be on the highway, and it's going to be super comfortable on the highway. And that's ultimately what led me to choosing the Transalp, was the highway capability and the road capability. The off-road obviously is something I was looking for. I didn't want something that I'm not going to be spending 50% off-road. That's just not the type of rider I am, and it's not the type of environment I live in and the type of trips I take. So after 1,100 miles, I can say I am 100% happy with the Transalp. I love it. I do not regret buying it at all. I would not have chosen any other bike, and that's, if I won the lottery tomorrow and I'm buying a bike, I'm gonna keep the Transalp. And I'm sure there's a lot of bikes out there that you can use and that may be better than the Transalp, but I love the bike. I think it looks phenomenal, it rides phenomenal, it sounds phenomenal. Out of the factory, it sounds awesome. It needs a little bit of upgrades, but so does every bike. I needed to add protection. I needed the skid plate. I needed the crash guards. I added aux lights to be seen more. So obviously it needs stuff just like every bike. But in my opinion, in my own personal opinion, I love the bike. I think it's one of the best looking bikes out there, and it rides phenomenal. Especially, it's my second bike ever. So coming from a Rebel 500, this bike feels like it's gonna rain. So sorry about the thing, but so this bike, it feels like a Cadillac compared to the Rebel 500. I'm looking behind me and I'm seeing those freaking rain clouds. That sucks. But so yeah, compared to the Rebel 500, this bike feels like a freaking Cadillac, dude. This bike feels so much better than that bike. It's night and day. It's crazy. I'm excited. I can't wait for the future. I got so many plans for this bike, and I'm just getting started. I love it more every time I ride it. I love it more. I mean, I'm so excited. I got a trip planned, so stay tuned for that. I have a trip planned for, I'm going to the Twisted Sisters, 3 Twisted Sisters in Texas, and it's going to be a 7-hour ride from my house, but it's going to be worth it. So I'm meeting up with my brother's childhood best friend, or full life best friend, I guess, but he's like an older brother to me. I'm going to meet up with him in Dallas, Texas, and then we're going to ride 4 hours to our campsite. And then, so this is on a Monday, and then on a Tuesday we're going to ride the Twisted Sisters the whole loop, camp one more night, ride home on Wednesday. So by then, unless something goes wrong, I will have my comfort seat, and by then I'm going to have my carpy ride. I'm going to buy a carpy ride for my GPS up top. I got that. I plan on getting a center stand. I'm going to get the carpet ride before the center stand, just because I don't like the idea of looking down at my phone to get maps. I can just look straight at my windshield. So I got that trip planned on it, and then I have a trip in August planned, a camp trip. So stay tuned for that. I've got some more ideas on how to make better camping videos. I've been watching videos and checking out videos. My buddy with the Ride of a Lifetime put out his camping video and gave me a lot of inspiration. So I'm going to take his inspiration and make it into my own. And I'm excited. I'm super excited for the trip to the Twisted Sisters. It looks like an awesome ride, and I'm going to film as much of it as I can. I probably won't do a whole lot of talking in it, because I'm going to be cardoed up with my buddy. I haven't seen, he's basically my older brother. but I haven't seen him in probably 5 years, so I'm really excited to meet up with him and ride. He has a sport bike, but we're not doing any BDRs, or we're just going straight pavement. So it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a great trip. But as far as the 1100 mile update, it's awesome. I love it. I do have some quirks with it, some issues with it. The tubeless, or the tube tires, the air filter change is annoying. I wish it had adjustable shocks. But would I go back and buy something else? No. And to be honest, I like this over the Africa Twin. The Twin's a lot more expensive. It didn't fit me as well. Obviously I sat on it and it didn't fit me as well. But would I go back and get something else? Absolutely not. I love the Transalp. It's awesome. I mean, if you're on the fence about getting one, get one, man. Or at least test ride it and see how you like it. The seat does probably need to be changed. I mean, it's subjective. A lot of people, some people say it's comfortable, some say it's not. So the seat may need to be changed. You might want to change the seat. I personally am changing the seat, especially I'm about to take a 700 or about 1,000 mile trip. There and back is 1,000 miles, but so I'm taking it'll be a 7-hour ride straight without stops, 7 hours and 15 minutes or so. So I did order the comfort seat. It's coming in. The dealer said probably Wednesday or Thursday. I'm really hoping. I really want that seat on here, and hopefully this is my last video without the seat, or without that comfort seat. But like I'm flicking the bike around. It's super flickable. It's not as like light as the Rebel, so it's not as flickable, because like the Rebel I could just slap around because it's so light. But this bike is really maneuverable. It's super planted. Not even just being like a simp for the Transalp. I love the Transalp. I think it's a great bike. It's even, I think even if you're a beginner, this bike would fit you. I mean, yeah, it can get away with you because it's got some power, but it's only my second bike ever. I've only been riding for like a year, and I've put a good amount of miles in that year. But I mean, as a beginner, it's awesome. It does well. But there are some things that Honda could have fixed about it. They could have, from the factory, included a GPS bar. They could have, from the factory, offered a cruise control. And there's a lot of stuff that they could have done, but obviously they don't want to compete with the Africa Twin, because then nobody's going to buy the Africa. I'm sure there's still people that buy the Africa Twin, but yeah, they didn't want to compete with themselves. But as far as future mods, like mods I'm putting together, what's that in the road? It looked like a lug nut. Somebody's lug nut came off. But as far as mods that are coming like soon, the comfort seat, which stay tuned for that video. I'm going to do an unboxing, impressions, and then I'm going to ride with it and give you guys an update on the thoughts of it. And because you know, there's not many videos on it, especially in America, because it's not in America, but my dealer was able to order it in America, supposedly. I'll be happier when it's in my hands. But so I got the seat coming. I'm going to get a carpet ride. I'm going to wire it into my Thunderbox. I'm going to get the center stand, and then the Viridian Cruise. But the Viridian's going to come. It'll be a while before I get that. I just can't really justify spending that money on it right now, because I've been spending too much money as it is. So Viridian Cruise is definitely coming. The carpet ride will be next. I'm going to get that for my trip, and it'll make it a little bit better. But update on the bike, I still love it. I still love it the same as the first time I rode it. It's awesome. If you're on the fence about getting a Transalp, definitely get the Transalp. But if you guys have not subscribed, I really would appreciate it if you guys would subscribe. If you guys like content over bikes and the Transalp and camping and motovlogging, stick around, like it, subscribe to me. I'd really appreciate it. My returning viewers, thank you guys so much. As always, if you guys have any comments, any questions, anything over the Transalp, you want to see any video, if you want to see an install video of the carpet ride, I'm not a professional installer. but you'll see an average human, an average individual install on a bike. If you want to see me frustrated, sure. I mean, put a comment down if you want to see that video. If you guys want to see any other things about the bike, if you have any questions, any concerns, feel free to shoot them in the comments. My email's on my channel. If you want to shoot me an email, I'll be more than happy to respond to you. Anything you guys have, any questions, I have no problems answering them. And I appreciate any comment. Sometimes I get some good comments and it'll make my day. I mean, I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions, for real, put it down below. But I think that's all I got for you guys this video. I tried to stay on topic. I might not have, after I get the carpet ride, I'll probably do a final build list. Well, not the final, but I'll do a build list to go over the things that I've added I haven't made a video on, because I've added a lot since then. But I'll do a loadout for the camp trip, because it's going to be a 3-day trip. I'll make a video on the loadout for it. I don't know if I'll put it before I go on the trip or after, but I will do a video on that. And then probably the carpet ride. If you guys want to see an install of the carpet ride and a review on it, put a comment down below, and I'll be more than happy to make a video on it. But until the next time, you guys ride safe out there. Peace out, boys.